Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I want to talk to you about Season 2, Episode 2 of Superman and Lois. It was called The Ties That Bind, and we see at the opening that Clark is continuing to have these visions, and he visits Morgan, or his brother Tal, to find out if these visions are coming from like residual Zod memories that might have been left in his head by the Eradicator. Jordan's girlfriend continues to be aloof as Jordan introduces her to Natalie, Steele's daughter. Tal tells Superman that he's entirely powerless, even if he were to go out into the yellow sun, as opposed to being in the cell that he's in where there's red sun, sort of artificial light thing, and tells Superman to take him to his lab so he can run tests to find out why Superman's having these visions, but Superman declines, doesn't trust him. Jordan's girlfriend then ditches him to work on her dad's car with Natalie, who apparently knows a lot of mechanical stuff. She's very mechanically inclined. Superman faces down a thug who inhales a kind of gas that gives him like Kryptonian powers, and he gets his clock cleaned by this guy before having another vision and getting his bacon saved by the fake DOD Superman people. We flash over to Lana. We learn that her candidate friend is suddenly dropping out of the race because he got a job offer, which of course is suspicious because we know that the guy who already is mayor arranged for this so that he could continue the race unopposed, which is how he's always run in the past. Superman gets himself looked over by the DOD doctors who aren't really any help, and he's told quite glibly by the general that if he's not going to be on the team, he can't expect backup in the future. And he won't necessarily have free reign, as it were, like he has before, without being questioned as to what he's doing. Clark ends up relenting and does, in fact, take Tal to his lab, and Jordan goes along as backup, and he gets to see his grandmother, Tal and Clark's mother, via crystal. It's a version of her consciousness that was uploaded before the destruction of Krypton. Tal and Lara in this scene have an emotional exchange in which we learn that Tal was genetically engineered like all other Kryptonians, whereas Kal was a natural conception and natural birth. We then see that Tal very much does not believe his mother when she tries to tell him that she really tried to find him when she learned of his existence. And he was very pained during this exchange, and the actor does a really good job of conveying that. And I think he did in his initial episodes as well in season 1, which is one of the reasons this show was so good, because he's really good in the part, and the character is well constructed. It's not a one-dimensional, mustache twirling villain type guy. He's got layers, he's got dimensions, and it's just very good. So this was a cool scene. Natalie and Jordan's girlfriend work on her dad's car, and the girlfriend hints that she has a secret which she thinks might change how Jordan sees her, and that's why she's been acting weird, which Natalie had picked up on in a previous scene. While Superman is talking with his mother about the visions he's been having, he begins to have another one, and at that point, Tal reveals that he can, in fact, break out of his handcuffs, that he is able to regain his strength when he's exposed to the yellow sun. Jordan briefly holds him off with his heat vision and stuff, but Tal gets him in like a chokehold before being asked to stand down by the crystal version of Lara, which doesn't actually work. Then something causes an earthquake, but it isn't natural. Something else is causing it. We know this because John Steele and Lois are monitoring the situation. Supes comes to, he comes out of his vision, and he gets Tal off of Jordan, at which point Lara says that she knows what's wrong with him. Superman then returns Tal to his Red Sun prison and tells him that while Lara believes there's still good in him, he really doesn't believe that, but says that he does want to believe it. When a podcast host comes for Lois in the next scene over an old story of hers, her newspaper partner tells her that she needs to come clean about her once secret source that she used for that story, so that the partner can know whether or not to stand behind her and risk going down with her or cut ties with her. And Lois at that point reveals that her secret source was her sister, who lost everything by investing in the subject of the story that is in question. Of course, we know that the sister is Lucy and that she is going to make an appearance this season after previously having been seen on Supergirl. Then we get a really sweet scene. It actually is between Lana and her husband, where she discloses that now that her friend has dropped out of the race, she's going to run for mayor herself, and apparently already has the support of the fire department. And then, just as I had said the case was likely to be in last week's review, we learned that Jordan's girlfriend did in fact kiss someone at camp that I guess she fell for at camp, which is why she's been acting hokey with Jordan. And he takes it kind of badly, which, you know, he's a teenage boy. Of course, he's going to take it badly. So, yeah. But she kind of says, no, you know, it's not like I want to date her, the girl that I kissed. You know, it's not that. It wasn't that. It was just a kiss. But yeah, so we're going to see where all that drums is going to go next week. Now, we learn that Clark's problem is something called I got to practice this one. Interdimensional kinesthesis, if I'm saying that correctly, which is caused by the presence of another being on Earth, whom it seems a DOD mole at the mine has been expecting. We, of course, know this is Doomsday. So somehow Doomsday's presence is messing with Clark's mind. So I don't really get that, but we're going to see that unfold in the coming weeks. This was an okay episode. It moved the ball forward, which is good. The best part of it was Superman and Tal and Jordan getting to interact with Lara L. And, you know, the whole part where we got to see that Tal really is kind of a sympathetic character. He kind of is where he is and behaves the way he behaves, I should say, because he's in pain. So, you know, that was good to see. I, once again, like the stuff between Lana and her husband. It's good stuff as television goes, but I don't know why it's in a Superman show. I don't know why they're putting these scenes in that take away from the super stuff. Like, I like the characters. I might watch their show if they had a show on which they do these things that they're doing in the Superman show, but why is it happening during a Superman show? I don't know. Same thing for the teen drama. Like, okay, cool. You know, I watched Riverdale. That's a teen-ish. It was anyway, till they time jumped. I liked watching Sabrina. That was a teenish show, a teenage kind of show. So I'm not opposed to that, but like, why is it in a Superman show? I don't like it in a Superman show anyway. I'll be back with a review of next week's episode after it airs. Until then, I wish you peace and long life.